Welcome to What's in Your Data.
Brought to you by Melissa. My name is Daniel Lee, and I'm the Chief Data Wrangler at Melissa.
My name is Anna Chong, and I am a software engineer team lead here at Melissa. Daniel, what is that you got on your head?
My hair is on my head, and this is on my hair on my head.
Yes.
So by transitive property, it's somewhere in there.
Yes. It's a new. You're rocking a new style today.
Yeah, just trying something different. Just trying on. But it's a M for Melissa. So yeah, just want to show off some of our swag here that we have. Maybe it can be available for you guys at some point in the future.
You never know, right? You never know. But on a more exciting note,
More exciting than a hat.
We have a special episode today. We're going to have a guest joining us on this episode, and she's actually 3 hours ahead of us. So thank you for sticking around to record this podcast with us today. So our special guest is Savvy. We would like to introduce one of our software engineers, Savvy, here to our podcast today.
Hey, making this content is hard work.
If you enjoy it, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share with your colleagues.
Now back to the episode.
Yay, welcome.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
I am a software engineer here at Melissa. So I work on a lot of our different projects, everything from stuff with addresses to people, all the way into our front end products as well.
How long have you been with Melissa?
I've been here for 5 years. I started in February 2020, right before COVID hit, and I've been remote ever since.
Wow. Well, I mean, congrats on your 5 years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's 5.
Oh, I was clapping.
I was high-fiving.
Okay.
There we go.
Ow.
Okay, I just got slapped.
Alrighty. Well, being in the industry, Savvy, and working with data, I'm sure you've had some stories or have experiences with data and some issues that you might have encountered, as we all have. And we'd be curious to know what some of those experiences might have been.
Yeah. So I got my start in the the data industry working at a small startup where we were making sales dashboards for car dealerships.
Okay.
So I was there for probably close to a year, I think. And that's really where everything went kind of crazy all the time for me. I don't know if you know a lot about car dealerships, but there's not typically a lot of organization in a lot of different ways. Everything's kind of chaotic in general.
But all the cars in the lots are always parked so neatly.
Well,
it is very organized.
Yeah, I thought that was organized.
Closed.
It's just a facade. It's a facade.
Yeah.
To get you in.
From at least the invoicing and bookkeeping and tracking side of everything, it was definitely not as it appeared there. They typically use a bunch of different types of software and they will change it up kind of frequently. And then you have the people that have been there, for 20, 30 years that started doing everything on paper, and now they don't want to transition to the new software. And then, they use one, then a new one comes out. They're like, oh, let's use this one. And then they have this system that they did 5 years ago and this system that they're trying out today. And it becomes a whole thing. We were building out these dashboards for the different car dealerships, and there would be used car dealerships, new car dealerships. Then there would be, it's not technically a franchise, but it's like you have one guy that owns multi, so like maybe he has a used one and a new one, and they're technically in the same lot, but they actually are separate business entities. And even within that same building, they might have different ways that they track things, and then different stuff they need for their used cars versus their new cars. It's a whole thing. And then on top of that, they're trying to track data, they're trying to deal with leads and stuff from the very beginning. How many people logged on to and saw this through our website? How many people got a phone call? How many people used our mailers over and over and over again? And so
Yeah.
they're bringing in data. They want to track leads. Are these leads actually the same person that came from all these different places? Or are these leads, is this failing? Are our cold calls failing? Are we losing our customers from there? Are we actually getting sales conversions off of these leads? And then they're also wanting to track these leads all the way through the sales process on top of it. And we would get data in from all of these different companies, and every single one was different. And we're trying to produce, it's kind of bespoke, but it's not really. We're ultimately trying to produce a very similar product, a very similar, dashboard experience for all of these different customers, with just, a few different tweaks to kind of narrow in on what they do really value in the dashboards that are being presented to them. And let me tell you, when you're talking about from ingestion all the way to the display, the cleaning that had to be done, everything, it was just absolutely atrocious. And we
Do you
actually,
do you have one
while,
example to share with us?
just kind of just imagine that you're getting in a data file, and there is one person that came on the website multiple times, and they messaged in the little chat with us bot, right? So we have that person there. And then they called again later, and now that person is there as well. And then they finally made it into the dealership. While they were at the dealership, they talked to two or three different people while they were there. And so two or three different salespeople might have a record down for that person.
So
Or
like
they might
duplicate.
have, yeah. And then they might even transfer from different people in the middle of the sales process. And so then you have an incomplete sale technically for one person, and you have a completed sale then for a different person.
Yeah, that's messy.
Yeah, and they might, let's say there's a typo in something, one where, they misspelled their middle name on this place. And then this person, they wrote all of their stuff in manually, and they tried to scan their document in. That's not a perfect conversion. And especially this was 6 years ago. Now, every year it's getting better, when we're talking about dealing with machine vision, actually being able to read in these handwritten documents and create it. But even back then, it still wasn't as good as it is now, because it's still not great now, right?
Sure.
And so they're scanning these documents in and just be hoping that these numbers are going to be right, and then they didn't go back and check it. And it yeah, it just, you're dealing with the duplicates from that. You're dealing with numbers. You're dealing with them. They're giving us stuff written as a string when it's actually supposed to be an int. And everywhere that you could have imagined something going wrong in the data pipeline, it did. Um,
Right.
Well, let me ask
and
you something, Savvy.
yeah,
In a previous episode, we've spoken about three things that can go wrong during once we conduct what we call a data quality audit. Yeah, something that happened, a bad input, maybe a bad data. It already came in, it's bad. Or you're missing data, just like you said, you forgot to collect the middle name. So I'm sure you dealt with all three of those stages, Savvy. And
Yeah.
what kind of tools or what was part of your data quality journey in trying to solve this?
yeah. So when I first started there, we actually used a software that it had its own language for it and everything. It was essentially SQL, but it used its own its own version of it. So it has slightly different syntax and everything. A lot of the process there was just manual checks. Manual, we had an individually out scripted check for every single thing that you could think of.
Wow.
And it was awful.
So you're saying, for example, there's an email field and someone's got to be looking at all the emails?
hmm And well, no, not looking at all the emails, but like I would have to write out a script to do a check for, so I would go in, visually look at the stuff, look at, okay, here's some different problems that we see for this. And I would have to write out a special SQL script or essentially SQL script to perform all of the transformations that needed to be done on that. On top of that, I would build some Python programs to do different extractions because each company would send us their data in different formats. So some of them they were emailing us individual data files every single month. And
Oh, that's
then
fun.
some of them they were like uploading them to Amazon S3 buckets and they wanted us to download from there. So there was various ways that it was done. So like we would have an individual, we would have a Python script that was performing some automatic extractions, and then and then that would upload it into Sisense, which was what we used at the time, and it was all I did not like using it very much. But eventually we were actually coming to the end of our license with them, and that's when we built out a AWS pipeline to perform all of the ETL processes and build out the dashboards there. And that's still, we didn't have any verification tools that we used. We weren't able to confirm that, like we weren't doing any processing to actually say that all of these emails were real or all these phone numbers were real. How we couldn't do that. We couldn't give that to them, but we did do some basic cleaning and whatnot during the transformation process there.
Now, while working with the data, did any of your dealerships or any of your clients, use bad data and it affected their business? Maybe they sent mailers out and it was rejected. Oh, okay.
Right
You
away.
saw that, right?
Right away.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was one of the things that I had to track while I was working there was they needed to know about their leads. They were tracking their leads, and so some of it was mailers that they were sending out. And so they were trying to, I had to actually track how many of these mailers were getting returned
Yeah.
sometimes. Not every dealership, even kept track of that, but that was one of the ones they came in and were like, "Hey, we've started to try to keep a record of what ones of these mails are being returned to us."
So you say
And
lease,
that
you mean
was
like car leases?
I think she's saying leads.
Oh, leads,
Leads.
leads. Sorry,
Leads.
I misheard
Yeah.
that. Leads. Um, you know, this is, I mean, I think Savvy's journey is exactly what here at Melissa we have something called the 1-10-100 rule. And to share with everyone, for those who haven't heard it, 1-10-100 is the idea behind when you deal with the bad data. If you deal it at point of entry before it comes into your system, it is only going to cost you $1. But if you let it go into your system and then you have to come clean it afterwards, like what Savvy explained she had to do with makeshift scripts, with different ETLs and all the things she had to do, it cost her 10.
Yeah.
A lot more, more effort. And then the ultimate thing she just mentioned was they had to send mailers out to their leads,
Yep.
and they get a lot of returns. That's a waste of money. They can't contact the leads. That cost them 100.
Yeah.
So they acted on bad data. 1-10-100. You've said it before. Exponential.
Yeah.
It just gets worse the longer you wait. So did you feel that 1-10-100 really impacting you guys like that, Savvy?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Even
bad data.
on-
Oh, go for it.
I was just even for us as they had to pay us for what we were building, and that involved the data that they were sending us. And if they had a way on their end to, that's just another cost on top of it that, they could have avoided sending us the bad data in the first place too.
Yeah. Cost affects everything down to the bottom line, and it's not good for businesses. It's not good for anyone to have to deal with bad data anywhere in the pipeline.
Yeah. And the longer you wait,
the worse it gets.
Yep.
Sorry you have to deal with that, Savvy.
Yeah. Well, so it obviously sounds like data quality is important to you. You were frustrated with your experience there. Knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently?
I mean, knowing what I know, again, me working there, I was very fresh, I was still even finishing up some of my college stuff. I really did not have much experience in the industry, and I didn't really know even what was out there or even what tools to look for that could have made our process easier for us. And I mean, especially after working here and seeing, the tools we build here and everything, I'm like, this is something that we could have been suggesting. We have so many verification tools here, even,
Yep.
we have so much, we do all of that cleaning here ourselves so that other people wouldn't have to deal with that. So if I had known this back then, either I could have used it on my end to clean up the stuff then, or all these car dealerships could have been using it on their end in the first place so that we wouldn't have gotten the stuff that we had to deal with from the beginning. So, but not to mention just, different processes and everything that I've worked on and worked for here, that would have been so helpful.
Hindsight is 2020.
And I think that's kind of the purpose of this What's in Your Data podcast is exactly what Savvy said. We wish we knew you earlier, but hindsight 2020. Well, let's bring that hindsight to foresight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we want to our listeners and viewers. We hope that you have the foresight to think about your data quality journey. Think about the 1, 10, 100 rules, the impacts, as Savvy explained in her experience working at car dealership software, and maybe you can be thinking about what you can do first, or what services are available out there, what data quality services are available for you to incorporate in your pipeline.
Yep. Well said.
Thank you.
Well, Savvy, we want to thank you for joining us. But before we let you go, is there anything else you'd like to say, or anything else you want to let our viewers know about?
Clean data in. Do it first. Do it at the beginning. Don't wait until later. That's all I can really say. Don't, what you start with is going to be the foundation of everything going forward, and it would save you so much time, so much effort if you can have it from the very beginning.
Well spoken.
Yes,
Well said.
Well said.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Savvy, very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we hope you continue to have a good data quality journey here at Melissa. And I guess we'll see you next week.
And for everyone else, please like and subscribe.
Yes. It'll help us reach viewers who might be interested in data, learning about data quality, going on their own data quality journeys. So yeah, we look forward to having more of you guys here. If you haven't already, there's links below to our email.
podcast@melissa.com.
Yes.
Yeah, reach out.
Yeah, reach out, ask us questions, suggestions. Yeah, we're
Or
happy to hear it.
if you want to come talk with us, share your data quality journey, we'd love to have you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, until next time.
Stay data curious.